In this video, I'm going to show you how similar the Arabic and Hebrew languages are. I actually made a video about this back in the early days of this channel, but like most of my videos from that era, it was trash. And an important topic like this deserves an upgrade, so here we are. Arabic and Hebrew are both Semitic languages and developed from the same origin. That's why the word for peace is salam in Arabic and shalom in Hebrew. The word for Saturday is as-sabt in Arabic and Shabbat in Hebrew, which is the source of the English word Sabbath, by the way. A word used at the end of prayers and so on is amin in Arabic and amen in Hebrew. Arabic and Hebrew speakers generally can't understand each other, but the similarity in words like this is pretty obvious when you look for it. I often see comments on the internet saying that Hebrew developed from Arabic or that Arabic developed from Hebrew, but that's not true. At this point in the development of Semitic languages, they were the same language. But then dialects of this language began to gradually diverge into different languages in different parts of the Middle East. Hebrew actually died as a daily spoken language around 200 CE and continued to be used mainly in writing, especially scholarly religious writing, and in Jewish religious practice. Modern Hebrew resulted from an effort to revive Hebrew as a spoken language, beginning in the 1800s. As you can imagine, it's not exactly the same as older forms of literary Hebrew, and lots of new vocabulary for the modern era was added to it. Most of it was created using Hebrew roots, and in some cases Hebrew linguists looked at modern Arabic vocabulary and created similar words using the equivalent roots and word structure in Hebrew. But this was for a fairly small number of words. Most of the similarities between Arabic and Hebrew are a result of their common Semitic origins. One striking similarity is their similar system of roots and templates. Both Arabic and Hebrew have a system of word roots, usually roots consisting of 3 consonant letters. You take those 3 consonant letters and put them into templates that help you create a word. A template is like a combination of vowels and affixes, whether a prefix, suffix, or infix. For example, in Hebrew there's the root k, t, v, and in Arabic you've got k, t, b, which both have the core meaning of write. Let's see some forms of the verb meaning to write. I wrote is katavti in Hebrew and katabtu or katabt in Arabic. You can see that the root is placed into a template that focuses its meaning. These vowels indicate that this is a past tense verb, and the ending tells us who is doing the action. Notice that the Arabic and Hebrew templates are similar but not exactly the same. You wrote when speaking to a male is katavta in Hebrew and katabta in Arabic. You wrote when speaking to a female is katavt in Hebrew and katabti in Arabic. Again, the template is similar but slightly different. Sometimes the differences could potentially cause confusion for a speaker of the other language. For example, katavti means I wrote in Hebrew, while katabti means you wrote in Arabic when said to a female. Let's check this with Aiden, a native speaker of Hebrew. So this sentence in Arabic is katabti kitab. Do you know what this means, or can you guess what it means?
Yeah, I can guess, because the katab, lichtov in Hebrew is to write. So I would think this means I wrote a letter. Because also in Hebrew, the past tense of to write is katavti. So katavti is I wrote, and kitab, I'm assuming in Hebrew it's michtav.
Okay, so let me show you. In Arabic, it actually means you wrote a book. And I think it's when spoken to a female.
Okay, interesting.
So in Hebrew, you'd have katavti sefer, right? Which is
okay.
I wrote a book. This is Mahmoud, a native speaker of Palestinian Arabic. So in Hebrew, this is katavti sefer.
The first word, katavti, obviously the first word that jumps to mind from Arabic is the verb kataba, meaning to write. So you already see a similarity in the first word. As far as the second word goes, we do have the word sifr in Arabic, but I would say that word is a little archaic, and the only context where I hear it is when people talk about the Bible and they talk about the books of the Bible. So the book of Genesis would be Sifr at-Takwin.
So in some cases, the roots are the same like that, like the one we just saw, meaning to write. But in many other cases, the roots are different. Or the most commonly used root is different. For example, the root meaning work in Hebrew is ayn v d, while in Arabic it's ayn m l. Both roots, or at least very similar roots, are used in either language, but with a different nuance. Arabic has this root, ayn b d, but it means worship or servitude. And Hebrew has this root, ayn m l, but it means toil or labor, as opposed to simply meaning work. Let's see if Aiden recognizes the words in this Arabic sentence. أنا عملت اليوم, meaning I worked today.
It's ana. I think it refers to the self, to yourself. So it means I something. El yom. Yom is for me in Hebrew. It's day. I can't really make sense of the verb, but I would think it's I something day, today or something like that.
Okay, right. So it means I worked today. So I think you're right.
Oh, okay. So actually, there is a amal in Hebrew. It's like a more biblical reference to work. In Hebrew, you say avadati or avad, but there is actually a Hebrew word that's related to the amal. I didn't make the connection because it's not really used.
Now let's show the Hebrew sentence to Mahmoud. So in Hebrew, this is ani avadati hayom.
Oh, that's an interest. So ani, I do know that this means I, and obviously it's similar to the word for I in Arabic, ana. And then looking at the last word, hayom, the word yom means day in Hebrew. It sounds very similar to yawm in modern standard Arabic, but it's identical to the word for day in Palestinian Arabic, which is yom. The verb is interesting because I don't know what that is, so I want to figure it out on the spot. Avati.
One thing that might help you out is if I point out that the verb starts with an ein, but in modern Hebrew they don't pronounce the ein. So that's why I'm saying it like avadati. So it might sound like an alif at the beginning, but it's actually an ein.
Okay, so the verb abad in Arabic means to worship, and I do know now. I remember that the cognate verb means to work. So ani avati hayom must mean I worked today.
Right, so that's what it means. I worked today.
Okay.
Notice that the personal pronoun meaning I is similar, but not exactly the same. This is the case for the subject pronouns in general. A decent amount of very basic vocabulary is similar in Arabic and Hebrew. Here are some words for parts of the body. The word for hand in Arabic is yed, and in Hebrew it's yad. The word for finger in Arabic is isba, while in Hebrew it's etzba. The word for eye in Arabic is ayn, and in Hebrew it's ayn. The word for head in Arabic is ra's, while in Hebrew it's rosh. There's a word in Arabic which means core or essence, lub. In Hebrew there's the word lev, which means heart. If you think about it, the Arabic word means heart, but in a more metaphoric sense. But some words are totally different, like the word for neck in Arabic, raqaba, and in Hebrew, tzavar. These are some words referring to people and family. The word for father is ab in Arabic and av in Hebrew. The word for mother in Arabic is and in Palestinian Arabic, im, while in Hebrew it's em. The word for a boy or child in Arabic is walad, and in Hebrew it's yeled. The word for girl in Arabic is bint, while in Hebrew it's yalda, the feminine form of yeled. In Arabic, there's no feminine form of walad. Bint means girl but also daughter, and is a cognate with the Hebrew word bat, which sometimes means girl but usually means daughter. The word for son in Arabic is ibn, or bin. In Hebrew, the word for son is ben. The word for dog in Arabic is kalb, while in Hebrew it's kelev.
And it sounds even more similar to kelib, which is the word for dog in the Levant, or at least in Palestine.
The word for king in Arabic is melik, while in Hebrew it's melech. The word for friend in standard Arabic is sadiq, while in Hebrew it's chaver. These words aren't related, but Hebrew does have a cognate word of sadiq.
So in Hebrew, tzaddik, it's like maybe something to do with wisdom or something like that. A wise man, righteous, yeah.
And here are a few words for some other things and objects. The word for kitchen in Arabic is matbach, while in Hebrew it's mitbach. The word for water in Arabic is ma, and in Palestinian Arabic, mai, while in Hebrew it's maim. Part of the difference here is that the Hebrew word is in the plural form. The word for food in Arabic is ta'am, while in Hebrew it's ochel. In Arabic, there's also a cognate word of ochel, which is ekel, meaning food or eating. And in Hebrew, there's the word ta'am, meaning taste or flavor, which I thought was a cognate of this Arabic word meaning food, but Mahmoud corrected me on that.
Well, Arabic also has ta'am, which means taste.
Oh, I see. Okay, so maybe that's the true cognate of the Hebrew word.
I think so, yeah.
Some words are false friends, cognate words that appear to have the same meaning but actually have different meanings. For example, in Arabic the word Medina means city, while in Hebrew Medina means state, as in the political unit of a country. In Arabic the word lehem means meat, while its equivalent word in Hebrew, lechem, means bread. So here's another sentence. What do you think this means? Akalna lehem.
I ate bread, maybe. Achalti lechem.
Okay, so here's the meaning. We ate meat.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool.
Interesting, isn't it? Both meanings developed from the more general, earlier meaning of food. In Hebrew, it's achalnu lechem.
Achalnu lechem. Achalnu sounds a lot like akalna, we ate. And then lechem, since it's eating, that sounds like lahm in Arabic, which would mean meat.
So this one is like it's a cognate, but it's a false friend. So it means we ate bread.
Okay.
So we've seen lots of vocabulary that's similar or related in the two languages, but I might be giving you the impression that most of the vocabulary is similar, but that's not really the case. Lots of words are different. Like to say the woman went to school, in Hebrew you would say Haisha halcha levet hasefer. Word for word, the woman went to house of the book. In Arabic you would say ذهبت المرأة إلى المدرسة or راحت المرأة إلى المدرسة. Word for word, went the woman to the school. All the words are basically different, but there are some connections. Like the Hebrew word for woman, isha, has a cognate in Arabic, untha, which means female. This verb, halach, has the Arabic verb halakah, which means to perish, in other words, to die in a tragic way. I guess in a sense it means to leave or go away, but it doesn't have the simple meaning of go like the Hebrew word does. The word for school in Hebrew is beit sefer, which is like house of book or book house. The word for house, bait, or beit in a compound word like this, is a cognate of the Arabic word for house, beit. And we saw earlier that the word for book, sefer, also has a cognate in Arabic, though it's not the usual word for book. So an Arabic speaker might be able to figure out that beit sefer means book house, but would they be able to guess that it means school? So I guess it would be like in Arabic, beit al-kitab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beit al-kitab, so the house of books. Could it mean library? Because that's where books are housed.
Okay, so he didn't guess school, but library isn't that far off. So you can see that comparing Arabic and Hebrew sentences gets a lot more complicated than comparing individual words. Phonology. Because Arabic and Hebrew both developed from the same ancestor language, their phonology, meaning their pronunciation system, is fairly similar. Most of the consonants in either language have direct equivalents in the other, but some consonants have diverged. For example, th in Arabic often corresponds to sh in Hebrew. The word for three in Arabic is thalath or thalatha, and in Hebrew it's shalosh or shlosha. But note that th in standard Arabic is usually t in colloquial dialects. The emphatic th or z in Arabic often corresponds to ts in Hebrew. The word for noon, zuhr in Arabic, and tzohoraim in Hebrew. In Hebrew we have this word, tzohoraim.
Okay, I wanna try to break this down. You know the first part, tzohor, is that vohor? Vohr, meaning like the afternoon?
Right, so the tzohoraim means noon.
Okay.
So it is a cognate with zuhr. Note here that the Hebrew word is always in the dual form, while the Arabic word is in the singular form. J or j in Arabic corresponds to g in Hebrew. The word for camel, jamal in Arabic, and gamal in Hebrew. In some Arabic dialects in Egypt and Yemen, though, it's pronounced g, like in Hebrew. The in Arabic often corresponds to z in Hebrew. The word for gold, dhahab in Arabic, and zahav in Hebrew. Hebrew also has some consonants that change in certain contexts while they don't in Arabic. For instance, b in Arabic is b in Hebrew, but it can also be v, for example when there's a vowel before it. Similarly, k in Arabic is k or ch in Hebrew. The adjective meaning big or great in Arabic is kabir. In Hebrew, its equivalent is kabir, which means more like tremendous or mighty.
Oh, kabir, that sounds like kabir, which means big or large in Arabic.
Mm-hmm. Notice the k sound is the same, but then there's the verb meaning ride. In Arabic, it's rakiba, and in Hebrew, it's rachav. Notice that there's a k in Arabic, but in Hebrew, there's a ch after the vowel, even though it's the same letter as the previous word. Also notice that Arabic has b, where Hebrew has v, or v. Other consonants like that are d and the, g and r. t and th, and p and th, which is just f in Arabic. While Hebrew was being revived, or some might say reconstructed, it underwent some changes in its pronunciation and grammar because it had no native speakers at first. Everyone learned it as a second language. So modern Hebrew pronunciation was influenced by the native languages of the people who adopted it in its early days, languages like Yiddish, Russian, Polish, German, etc. They couldn't easily pronounce some of its phonemes, so some sounds changed or merged with others. The consonants het and chaf merged together as ch. So milk used to be halav, like Arabic halib, but now it's khalav.
Halib, like halav with milk.
Okay, right. So it's like khalav in Hebrew.
Halav. So is that halib? Halib is the Arabic word for milk.
That's right. So it means milk.
Okay.
And it's a cognate with halib. The bilabial fricative v became v, a labial dental fricative. So the sound written here with a V would technically have been pronounced a little differently, with your lips together. But in modern Hebrew, it's like a V, V. The consonant ayn became silent, or pronounced as a glottal stop. We saw this earlier in the Hebrew word for finger, not isba, but etzba, and also in the word for eye, not ayn, but ayn. The rolled R sound became a guttural R sound, more like in French or German. So the Hebrew word for wind or spirit used to be ruach, like Arabic, ruh, but now it's more like ruach. So this one is ruach.
Ruach. Okay. Well, it could be ruh, and ruh in Arabic means soul.
So in Hebrew, this means wind or spirit.
Okay. It's funny how with these two sound changes, it sounds like a completely different word.
The sound q became k. So the word for short was qasar, like Arabic, qasir, but now it's more like qatsar. Notice the middle consonant is different too. The emphatic s became ts. Qasar became qatsar. Qasir.
Katsir. There's a word katsir in Hebrew. It's kind of like a harvest, or liktol. It's like to cut, to cut something.
Okay, I think those words have the same root, but then this is the word for short.
Oh, katsar.
Katsar.
Yeah, so there is, yeah.
The emphatic T, to, became a simple T. So the word for good used to be tov. Compare that with Arabic, toyib. Now it's tov. W, represented by the letter waw, became v, and the letter's name became vav. The word for and used to be w or wa, and sometimes u, similar to the Arabic word for and, wa, but now it's ve or va, and sometimes u. Some of the consonants I mentioned before that have two variations have just one in modern Hebrew. The letter Daleth used to be pronounced either d or th, but now it's only d. The letter Gimel used to be pronounced either g or r, but now it's only g. The letter Tav used to be pronounced t or th, but now it's only t. It's worth noting that Jews from Arabic-speaking countries who learned modern Hebrew were able to pronounce those phonemes much more easily, but the European accent became the mainstream one. If it had been the other way around, then modern Hebrew phonology would be more similar to Arabic than it is. Another difference between modern Hebrew and Arabic is that fewer pronominal suffixes are used, for example, possessive suffixes. In Arabic, ummi means my mother, or in Palestinian Arabic it might be immi. You can see the possessive suffix here meaning my. In Hebrew, you're more likely to hear ha'im sheli, meaning my mother. Shel is a possessive marker to which the possessive suffix is added. In this case, e, meaning my. More formally, it could also be imi, more like the Arabic word. Most common in speech is probably ima sheli, meaning my mom, with ima being a word borrowed from Aramaic. I've never heard ima used with a possessive suffix, only with sheli. In Arabic, sayyara means car, and sayyaratuha means her car, or less grammatically strict is sayyarata. In Hebrew it would be amachonit shela. More formally you could say machonita, but I think it's less common than using shela. Colloquial Arabic dialects often use a similar possessive marker. Like in Levantine Arabic, there's taba'. Her car would be is-sayyara taba'atha, like the car belonging to her. Noun cases. Another thing to note about this word here, sayyaratuha, is this u vowel here, which indicates the grammatical case of the noun. The suffix u indicates nominative case, and un if it's indefinite. The suffix a indicates accusative case, n if it's indefinite, and the suffix e indicates genitive case, in if it's indefinite. So a formal sentence in modern standard Arabic might be كانت هذه السيارة غالية جدا. This car was expensive. Word for word, was this, the car, expensive, very. In Hebrew, there are no such case endings. המכונית הזאת הייתה יקרה מאוד. The car, the this, was expensive, very. There are no case endings on the noun or adjective. But in less formal spoken standard Arabic and in colloquial dialects, the case endings are normally dropped too. You can also see that basically all of the words in these sentences are different. Despite all the similar words we saw earlier, you'll see sentences that have mostly or even entirely different words. Verbs. There are some differences in the way that verbs work in Arabic and Hebrew. In both languages, the past tense is similar. We saw some examples before, like he saw, ra'a in Hebrew and ra'a in standard Arabic. In modern Hebrew, this form of the verb, with the subject indicated by a prefix and in some cases an additional suffix, is future tense. He will see. It was a little different in biblical Hebrew, but we'll focus on modern Hebrew right now. In Arabic, the equivalent verb form, yara, is normally the present tense, not future. To make it future, you add a prefix, sa, or a future preverb, sawfa, sawfa yara. That's in modern standard Arabic, or literary Arabic. In Arabic dialects, it's different. For example, in Palestinian Arabic, the word rah or prefix ha make the imperfect form the future tense. Rah yashuf or hayshuf means he will see. In modern Hebrew, participle forms are used for the present tense. So roe, which originally meant seeing or one who sees, is used like this. Ani roe means I see when a male says it. Hu roe means he sees, etc. There is something similar in Arabic, with the equivalent participle form being used for the present tense, but mainly for certain verbs showing ongoing states or conditions, and verbs that indicate movement. For example, أنا ساكن في يافا. I live in Jaffa. Before I said that the imperfect form by itself in Arabic indicates present tense. That's in modern standard Arabic. In dialects, there's often a present tense prefix. Like in Levantine Arabic, the prefix b, usually b, makes the imperfect form the present tense or present continuous. Biyashuf means he sees or he's seeing. And this is the more common colloquial verb for see. Hopefully from this video you can see that Arabic and Hebrew are closely related languages with noticeable similarities, but also with many differences that make them mutually unintelligible, for the most part. If you isolate certain similar words, they might be mutually intelligible, but in the regular flow of speech, Arabic speakers and Hebrew speakers can't understand each other, unless they've studied the other language. This is partly because of the differences in modern pronunciation, and partly because lots of words are simply different. With that said, if you're fluent in either language, then it's relatively easy to learn the other one, because the way both languages work is fairly similar, and a decent amount of basic vocabulary is similar. Though it's probably easier for Arabic speakers to learn modern Hebrew than vice versa, because modern Hebrew is simpler in terms of pronunciation and grammar, at least in comparison with standard Arabic rather than Arabic dialects. If you're a speaker of Arabic or Hebrew, do you understand any of the other language when you hear it? And to other people, what's a language that's related to your native language but that you can't really understand? A special thanks goes out to all of the Langfocus Patreon supporters, especially the ones whose names appear on the screen. They're the top tier Patreon supporters, so many extra special thanks go out to them. Wow, you watched this whole video right to the end. I guess you found it interesting. So here's another video of mine that you'll probably find interesting too. Click on the thumbnail to check it out.